WV Uncommonplace. This podcast is a variety podcast that houses numerous series to cover mental health, empowerment, podcast framework, and various intimate theories to get to know the hosts. Along with occasional movies reviews and dives in pop culture with our event podcast episodes. The Uncommonplace digs into bringing guests on that stories don't fit the mold and are very different. WV stands for the great state of West Virginia, and every quarter we cover something in West Virginia. Stacey and myself, JR, are your hosts, so please come along for this venture to our uncommon place.
I love you.
All right, here we go. We're recording. It's already read.
Let's do it.
All right, howdy. I'm JR from West Virginia Uncommonplace, and who do I have with me today?
This is Junaid Like Lemonade. I'm a host of the podcast Hacks and Hobbies, Passion to Profit Stories.
So, tell us about the amazing device that you bring with you everywhere.
So this is the GoBox Studio. It's a portable video studio in a box that you can take with you literally anywhere. Just look up goboxstudio.com. Now, the reason I am connected with them is because I love creating video content and I love setting up studios for other people. Now, I have a background in film and background in video production, and I've been doing this photography and whatnot for the past 30 years. And when the pandemic hit, I was already creating content for social media, for short stories, documentaries and whatnot. And I was like, I need to now stage up my own room. So as I did that, I got recognized and I got, noticed by other people. And somebody said, hey, Ken Okazaki, who's the creator of the GoBox Studio, is like, hey, you need to connect with Junaid because he's already doing studios. You got a portable video studio. Y'all need to connect. So starting like 2022, we got connected, and at September 2022, we finally launched this product in the market in the U.S. We came to traffic and conversion. Now, backstory on the GoBox Studio.
Okay.
It was actually requested by Alex Ramos. He doesn't want to advertise it, and I don't mind that at all. But Alex Ramos requested, hey, Ken, can you build me something that can create nice content, really good looking, because I'm sick of this webcam when I'm on the road, because he had a nice studio. I was like, sure, let me go work at it. So 10 iterations later, we have this GoBox Studio, and it's just doing great because we are literally created 32 full episodes back at Podcast Movement last year. I recorded at least another 15 episodes at Level Up Summit. That was in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
I was again recording more content. At the last event, we were at Traffic and Conversion 2023 in Las Vegas. And here at Podfest, I recorded another 20 episodes. In fact, two of my good friends did live streaming from the GoBox Studio on the Facebook, and they're right now doing a live stream on LinkedIn for like 2 hours long.
Oh, wow.
It's fun.
So let me ask you this, because I seen you last year at Podfest, actually, and you had everything set up, Junaid. What is it like when you see a podcaster that doesn't do video and gets so excited and seeing everything that you have going on? How does that make you feel?
It helps me feel that, we are trying to solve a problem. We're solving a problem that a lot of people have. Like, you probably need to connect all the cables, you need to bring all the gear, make sure you have power, make sure you have SD cards, you make sure you have all those things. And sometimes you might be forgetting something. So it helps me to see that, it's lighting up. And podcasting started as a radio background. It started as an audio-only thing. And now, almost 20 years later, we have video fully accessible. So watch for what's happening in the space, because I just heard Podcasting 2.0 is a new platform that they're building up. It's a schema. You can add video. It's going to auto-transcribe. Apple Podcast just said they're going to auto-transcribe all the audio. Because if you think about it, Siri can transcribe your text. Like, we're already doing that on our text messaging, like just tap the microphone, start talking, and it's transcribing. So why not recorded audio be converted into text? I mean, we're using software like Otter, we're using software like Descript, like all of these tools are doing exactly the same thing. So why not build it into the podcasting platform?
And that makes sense, sort of like, because the company we won't name they're doing something similar right now, but it's not working as great as it can be.
Right.
But like you said, we got that now. Tell us about the podcast.
So the podcast is called Hacks and Hobbies. I started it 2018, but I go way back to 2012. But that's when I launched my first podcast called Still Brewing It. It was me, my cousin, my brother-in-law, and we wanted to talk about technology. But we didn't have the technology available for podcasting back then, or I didn't go deeper enough. We ended up creating 4 episodes from 2 different time zones, 3 different cities. It was cumbersome. So we paused that, and then in 2018, I finally launched it because Gary Vee told me, hey dude, just go document your journey. You don't need anybody else, just go do it. And I jumped in my car, and I started talking about beekeeping, started talking about queen bee, because that was my start, right? I was thinking about beekeeping for so long, and I brought it on. And then for a long time, I spent time watching YouTube videos on beekeeping. Like, I was finally moved into a place where I could have bees. And the last video I watched was the guy's like, hey, just go join a beekeeping community or a beekeeping association, a local, and there's a ton of them all over the U.S. So I found one, took the class, finished the book. They're like, hey, document something. I was like, hey, I just finished my beekeeping class, and I'm gonna go do this new journey of beekeeping. So that's how the podcast started. The first year was all about beekeeping, all about my hobbies, all about the things that I love to do. In fact, on the first episode, if you go listen to it right now, I didn't even know what I was going to name the podcast. I was like, I'm just going to record this. And I left it there because I want to show that no matter what it is, it's the effort that you put in. Like if you go, I don't know if you've heard of MKBHD, right? Mm-hmm. If you go back 13 years, he still has that first video when he was 13 years old demoing this laptop on his channel. He's sitting at around 11 to 12 million followers on YouTube. So you can see that entire journey. It's about showing up. It's not about the technology. It's all about the conversation. It's all about you showing up. Because when you keep showing up, people recognize, like, JR, you recognized me when I showed up here, right? Like down the halls. So when you keep showing up, people know who you are.
Yes.
Right? And that's all it takes. You just keep coming. You just keep showing up. And if you don't take that shot, you're not going to hit a home run, right?
Right.
So that's my little journey. So first year, all about me, all about documenting the journey, all about the hobbies. And then next year, I was like, hey, I wonder if there's other crazy people who want to talk to me that are already talking to themselves. So 450 guests I've had on the podcast for the past 5 years. It's been a blast, and I'm just going to keep going because I love having these conversations. I love teaching people on what it is that you want to do. Because trust me, I'm in the same boat as you all are. I'm in the same boat as every single person who's thinking about starting a podcast, because I'm still thinking to myself, oh my God, if I start something new, is anybody going to follow? Like, who's going to follow me? Right. So you got to start. It's all about you. I was just talking to this gentleman. So last year we had a booth at PodFest. We had a giveaway. Sweepstakes where we're giving a MacBook Air. We gave away an iPad. We gave away these cool toys from Apple. And the person who won the MacBook Air was a 12-year-old kid. And he's like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever happened. So I met him today, like a year later, and his mom told me, funny thing, his mom works with Alex and Filippo.
Okay. It's just the interaction, yeah.
Right? And I'm like, holy smokes, this is so powerful. And he's like, he's doing his YouTube channel, he's creating content, he's on the run, so keep an eye on him. And I'm like, dude, I'm going to connect him with my son, because my son is 14 years old. He's creating content for the past 3 years on YouTube. And all you need other people to support you. You need other people to encourage you. So, man, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, man. This is so cool.
So we really appreciate you coming on. And the thing is that you're doing something right now that I know you don't think too much about it, but you're a podcast luminary.
Oh, thanks, man.
In this, because you're helping video podcasts get up there. And that's one thing that I definitely wanted to thank you for. So Absolutely. Real quick, Junaid, I need you to do this for me.
Okay.
Do a quick plug where everyone can meet you. We call it shameless plug. That's what we do in West Virginia Uncommonplace. So please tell everybody where they can meet and greet you and they can catch your podcast.
Absolutely. So head on over to linkedin.com/n Super Junaid, or just simply look up superjunaid.com. You'll find everything about me. My podcast is called Hacks and Hobbies. You can go to hacksandhobbies.com. And something that I help people set up their studios, you can visit homestudiomastery.com. But again, if you find me on Instagram, just look up Super Junaid and you'll find me on any platform. I literally built that brand up for the past 20 years of like, I'm going to find the screen name and be the same person everywhere. So find me, Super Junaid, and love to hear from you guys.
All right, so once again, I'm JR for West Virginia Uncommonplace, and I'm with Junaid, and we are signing off.
Please follow WV Uncommonplace on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, where we have some great content, Facebook, LinkedIn. Hit up the merch store at oncommonplace.square.site. Join the email list from the website, and rate, subscribe, and give feedback from your favorite podcatcher. And lastly, thanks for listening, and tune into the next episode.